Hi, welcome back to Post TV live from NAB 2013. I'm Randy Altman, editor of Post Magazine, and this person here is Mark Loftus. He's our senior editor. Say hi, Mark.
Thank you for joining us.
We're here with Vincent Brisebois from Fusion.io.
Yep.
And he's going to tell us a little bit about his products, but first we're going to dig into where they came from. So you guys showed up at NAB in a big way last year.
Yeah, last year.
With your first product.
My first baby.
Your first baby.
That was this guy here. Yeah.
I was hoping you could talk to us about where you had been prior.
Yeah, so Fusion.io has actually been around since 2006, and our products are so far, have been really focused on data center. That's where the big data I/O problems were. So our products are already powering some of the largest data centers in the world, from Facebook to the New York Stock Exchange. It's all running on Fusion.io. So whenever you post something on Facebook, it's going onto one of these in a server at Facebook. So we've really been in the server acceleration space, and now we're hitting almost what we're calling in the entertainment the resolution revolution, where we've already seen the switch from SD to HD, and now we're going from HD to stereoscopic, 2K to 4K, 5K, stereoscopic, and then high frame rates, so doubling again. So we've actually seen a growth of data going from 2K to, it's a little crackly, 2K to stereoscopic high frame rate 4K, 24 times more data have to go through the studio. It's a huge amount of data. When you could hardly handle a single stream of movie and work with it, now you have 24 times that data to deal with. So it's a huge amount of data to deal with. And that's where it's really kind of become the right time for this kind of market. The requirements are extremely high, and also NAND flash has gone down in price because everyone's buying iPads and iPhones and all that memory. So, yeah.
So that was your first product?
Yeah, so this was our first workstation product. This is the 420 gigabyte IOFX, and this goes right into the PCIe slot. It works on Windows, Linux, and Mac OS, so pretty much anywhere you would have a workstation. And it provides 1.4 gigabytes per second of read, so enough bandwidth to play back 4K uncompressed content. And the other neat thing is that you can add multiple of these in your system and aggregate them together, and it's a linear performance increase. So 2 of these, you have 2.8 gigabytes per second. 4, you're close to 6 gigabytes per second. So you can actually break through the barrier of RAID storage. You can't get up to 6 gigabytes per second, no matter how many SSDs you RAID together. So this really allows you to go beyond those barriers of speed requirements, but also has a much faster response time than solid state storage. So just to give you an example of the size of the difference, an SSD takes about 1 millisecond to give you the data you ask for. Because there's really kind of 2 levels of speed. There's your megabytes per second, kind of how big the hose is, how much water can flow through. But think of the latency as how long does it take for me to get water once I open the valve. And that's about 1 millisecond for an SSD. Within the SSD it's quick, but it still has to go through a RAID controller and storage controllers and get to the application. This is 0.06 milliseconds. So it's so much faster to get that data back. So when you're dealing with a lot of little files, for instance, you're going to get 20 files at a time, an SSD gives you 1. So that's really the big difference. It's really for people that either have requirements of really, really high bandwidth, where storage just doesn't provide it, or a lot of little things, or a lot of things very quickly.
So you're here this year with a newer product.
Yeah, brand new announcement. So this year we've got the 1.6 terabyte IOFX. So we're going from 420 gigs to 1.6 terabytes. 4 times the capacity. This is, I think, the largest capacity you can get in a single product right now on the market. So 1.6 terabyte of data, still 1.4 gigabytes per second. And what's really neat is you can actually even put these in Thunderbolt chassis. So people who go on the road, it is non-volatile. So I can have this in my workstation, get a full 1.4 gigabytes per second. Then I need to hit the road. I can pull it out of the workstation, put it in a little Thunderbolt box. Magma's here at the show with some great little boxes. Plug it into the Thunderbolt port on my laptop, and still get 860 megabytes per second. So
And you were saying you don't lose anything.
you don't lose any data. So I can go on the road, take the performance hit because I'm through Thunderbolt, although they just announced a double speed Thunderbolt, I think, at the show this year. So now we might actually get the full bandwidth out of it on the road. And then you get back home, you pull it back out, stick it in your workstation, you're back to full speed again. So it's a really, really great, and at 1.6 terabyte, you're now have a lot of capacity on the road.
I was going to ask you, what does that equate to when you talk about 4K, high frame rate, or even multiple streams?
Yeah, with 4K, depends on the type of format you're using. But on the 420 gig, we could fit, I think it was something around a minute or a minute and a half. So now we can actually go to quite a few. We can go up to 5, 6 minutes, 10 minutes more. I mean, it depends on the compression. If you're putting red mags, for instance, you can have 4 entire red mags on one of these. So, and with the red raw format, it's a lot smaller in size while it's on the drive. So it really kind of scales depending on the formats you're using.
Last year you were here with Adobe talking about how you sped up their Creative Suite. This year you have
15 partners here at the show. So yeah, Adobe, obviously, again, a great partner of ours. HP, NVIDIA, Assimilate.
Do you want to talk a bit about HP and how you're working with them?
Yeah, so that's our second announcement at the show. So one was the new 1.6 terabyte. 2 is that HP is actually picking up the IOFX, and it's going to be made available in all of their Z Workstation line of products. And that's really cool because it not only means that you can buy a Z820 or 620 workstation with this product built in, supported by them and everything, but it also means that it's going to run the gauntlet at HP. They take those systems and run them through all of their software partners, make sure that everything is optimized and tuned perfectly for use. So it means that we're now getting, the very diligent minds at HP, really putting this through mud and getting everything they can out of it.
Well, thank you for coming and sharing information.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, we have a huge party going on tonight. I don't know if you guys are going to be coming out to that, but anyone who's watching.
I think we might get by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyone with an NAB badge is welcome. It's going to be right across from the North Hall in the parking lot. And we have Nitro Circus, we have Cirque Berserk, we're going to have
flamethrowers,
sword swallowers, and dirt bikes doing flips over 18-wheeler trucks. So it should be a lot of fun.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Vincent. We
Cool.
will be back shortly with some fellows from Adobe.